2023. It was a regular meeting. Any discussion on those minutes? Do I have a motion for approval? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you. At this time, we have comments from the citizens. Is there anyone here now that would like to come up and address the board? If so, come forward, please state your name and address. Okay, with that being said, number 6 is reports from members of the board and other officers. Any reports from the BMA that you would like to share? Okay, thank you. Here, with my communication tonight, I'd like to talk about 3 items. First, I would like to take this opportunity to recognize one of our former aldermen, Mr. Gary Evans, who passed away last week. Gary served on this board for over 20 years and served on various community boards during that time. I know I speak for our BMA and our citizenry to send love and condolences to Alderwoman Paula Edwards and Lieutenant Wayne Edwards, who serves on our police force, concerning the passing of their father. May the Lord bless and keep you both, along with your mother and other family members during this difficult time. Moving on to item 2 that I'd like to talk about. Last month, our city recorder, Todd Wilcox, announced his resignation effective May the 5th, 2023. At that time, I symbolically stated that I had lost my right arm, meaning that Mr. Wilcox performed his duties to the utmost and was very loyal to me as mayor and to our BMA. Over 20 years ago, I had the privilege to coach Todd in football at UCHS. Todd was the kind of player that was a coach's dream. He was tough, big, strong, fast, and quick. Always, when we needed a crucial first down, we always ran behind Todd. And on defense, offenses ran away from him. He never lost a battle on the field. Todd respected his teammates and coaches and opponents and was truly a joy to coach. When he approached me last year about the recorder's position, I told him that I had the nomination, but that the BMA approves the hire. And if he wanted the job, then he must contact the members to convince him that he was the man for the job. On the night of his nomination, he was unanimously approved by the BMA. I knew that Todd would bring to this office the same qualities he had on the football field, such as loyalty, toughness, dignity, honesty, and the discipline to accomplish issues for me and the BMA. May I say, he did an outstanding, absolutely wonderful job. I never dreaded a day coming to the office when Todd was there. The girls in the mayor's office, I'm sure, realized that the bond that he, Ryan, and myself created. And at times, we had major issues to deal with. And Todd always steered the ship on course and safely to the dock. I'm going to miss Todd, but I am happy for him and his family. He and his wife Stacy have a beautiful young son, Tucker, and they are expecting their second child soon. In closing, I want everyone here tonight to know and understand how a fine, decent man Todd is. And again, I will say I'm going to miss him so very much. With this being said, I'm going to ask Mr. Ryan Blankenship, our building code inspector, to come forward with a plaque. And Todd, you and I are going to go out here in the front, and we're going to give you a plaque. Come on, let's go. And Ryan, while we're coming, I want you to read it to the audience what it says.
Presented to Todd Wilcox in appreciation for your service and dedication to the citizens of Erwin for 13 years.
Go ahead and get in the picture, Ryan. We've had a brotherhood, and I'm going to miss Todd. I'll let it back. Move forward. That's all that I had for the mayor's comments. Moving on to presentations, we have the Economic Development Marketing Campaign. on Real Wild, Unicoi County, Mr. Tony Treadway. Tony is a resident of Unicoi County. He, like others, have graduated from Unicoi County High School, and he's one of us, and we love him dearly. And Tony, would you like to come forward and speak? Austin, are you going to introduce?
Yeah, let's plan on doing a quick introduction either way.
Okay, all right. Thank you for coming, Mr. Treadway.
All right, so just wanted to give Tony an introduction, but also say that personally, I've heard that the hood grant that we proposed is going in the budget, and I just can't thank you enough for that step. That really helps our efforts and hopefully one step forward in getting something the whole community really wants, and just a major development for downtown. So really excited about that, and I hope everything plays out there, and would love to work with you all on efforts like that. Another bit of positive news, we got proposals back today for the CSX redevelopment. I'm looking forward to presenting these in more detail once we approve them in final on Wednesday. This also represents a very positive change for the city as a whole and the county by extension. So really excited about that. Just giving a brief warm up to Tony's presentation. The EDB in 2020 reached out to Creative Energy to create a campaign about positive awareness in this community. And Tony has taken it around with that in a way that is incredibly impressive. He'll explain more about. So we wanted it to be consistent, tell great stories about why people should live here, retire here, come back here, open a business here, and let this economy thrive. By attracting more visitors, people, and businesses, we are adding new jobs, we are growing our tax base, and we're lowering the tax burden on citizens who are already here, and enhancing our ability to produce a great quality of life that we're also used to. We found a great partner in Creative Energy, and Tony has roots in Unicoi County, as you mentioned, and is doing a great job representing us. They are knowledgeable and very experienced, and Tony will tell you a bit more about our efforts, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Finch. Mr. Treadway?
It's great to be here, and I want to thank you all for being in a tough spot. Being an elected official in Erwin is always a tough job. I had the opportunity to serve on a school board one time. I know how elected officials, it's a thankless job, so thank you for serving. And it's really a joy to talk to you tonight about something that's close to my heart, which is Unicoi County. Just to give you just a quick background, I'm a proud Blue Devil from first grade up. I was at Templeville, played on a football team there, then went to Unicoi County High School, wasn't very good, but I played on the football team. And my first job was at the roadside breakfast, making 25 cents an hour. I was happy to do it. So I've always had a workman's spirit and a love for Erwin and Unicoi County. You may not know that Creative Energy actually began operations 31 years ago in the back of the NFS Training Center out there, back in what used to be the shipping department of the Western Sizzle Steakhouse. So that's how we got our start. That's who we are today, and we do a lot of work with tourism organizations. And you can see a list of just some of those, and you see a very unique logo for Creative Energy. It's jackalope. You know why? Because it starts people to think and start asking questions. And that's very much a part of the heart of what our brand has been built for the Economic Development Council. That's jackalope, and it always starts a conversation. I want to congratulate you on some major achievements most recently. I mean, most recently picked as one of the top charming small towns in the state of Tennessee. You've been recognized by Travel Magazine as one of the best places in the South. You've got one of the greatest whitewater rivers in the world. That's been recognized. Most recently, look at this. On the Rise, Unicoi County front cover of this month's Business Journal. And the Johnson City Press has just announced a new editorial piece that will consistently be in the paper and shared across Northeast Tennessee, all about outdoor adventure. We want to make sure that we get front and center on that, because really Unicoi County is the gem of these mountain counties in this area. A couple of things that we've been doing that you might find of interest is last year during the Apple Festival, we did a tourism survey We knew people from all across the country will be here during the Apple Festival. And we polled both visitors, tourists to our region, as well as local residents. And we asked several questions to give us insight on the kind of stories we'll tell and the kind of messaging we have. And we asked them if there was just one thing that you could do to improve the Unicoi County experience, what would they be? And there you see it, a farm-to-table restaurant. Okay. More country cooking cuisine. I know we're working on that. A white tablecloth restaurant, we're working on that. Better nightlife. Austin will be sharing you in the future. Great opportunities with the old Clinchfield building. A movie theater, a bowling alley, a concert venue, a bike shop with rentals to go along with their wonderful new naked bike park. So that's what the outside world tells us that they'd like to see in the future in Unicoi County. Now, I thought there was a very interesting question in our survey. We sampled people who were visitors, tourists, and people who were local residents. And we were asking them to tell us one thing, if you had to tell your best friend, what one thing you'd tell them that would make them want to move to Unicoi County, okay? Look at the alignment. Live surrounded by nature. That's what the out-of-county residents said. Look here, county residents live surrounded by nature. Outstanding outdoor experience. Low taxes, great people who live here. Proximity to the Tri-Cities and Asheville. There's a great alignment between visitors who visit here and people who live here. And these are ranked in 1 to 10, 1 being the most important. So with that, we know that the outdoor experience, the outdoor adventure in the great wild open of East Tennessee is our best calling card, okay, for economic development. Now, some people could say that, well, what is wild? Is it Woodstock? I haven't seen anyone drunk on the back of a car in a while. Now, you can't say, we'll have to talk to the police chief about that. We're not bringing those people here. We're not asking them to come. We're not Asheville. We're not looking for Asheville homeless here. We're not asking for big biker week to come in and take over the town. We're asking for great Americans to come here and enjoy the beauty of nature. But we've got to be a little different. You've got to understand that there's a million messages out there based on tourism. You've got to stand out. And what is your greatest asset? The wild, beautiful nature of Northeast Tennessee, and in particular, Unicoi County. So what are we about? Well, 52% of Unicoi County is Forest Service land. You can't do much about that, but we can certainly reap economic benefit from it through outdoor tourism. Real wild living. We're talking about families moving here, people who will open a business here. You know, I was looking at U.S. Census data. Unicoi County was in the positive between 22 and 21 by 7 people. So we've got to rejuvenate the county. As people get older, we have to bring in new families and find them a place that they'll call home. And we'll open businesses here. And then we need to promote our strength, sell what we got. So that was the focus of our campaign. Now, we went through about 12 different logo concepts and stance lines or slogans, for lack of a better term. And we landed on this, and each one of the elements of that logo is award-winning and memorable. This logo and the website we built won an award in the International Economic Development Council competition that includes 5,600 economic development organizations worldwide. And it won an award. Okay. It also won numerous awards in advertising. So the brand is award-winning. And the focus, our entire focus is around 3 easy things to remember. Explore here with outdoor adventure. Why? Because we look at tourism as economic development. It's the top trending, outdoor adventure is the top trending thing that consumers are looking for in a post-pandemic world. In particular, it gives us the opportunity to increase our tax income, create jobs as well. Live here, move here, open a business. It adds to the county's workforce, it supports local business, and then retire here. Come and bring your family. It increases our tax base and it supports local business. Those are the three things that just are constant on our website. Why do we want to do this as an economic development tool? Take a look at this growth curve. This is between a few years ago, and it's headed toward 35? 30. So it's a 14% increase in outdoor tourism every year as far as an economic impact. You can't find 14% growth in hardly anything these days. So it is a great economic engine for Unicoi County. Our top opportunities to bring millennial families here who are really becoming our largest demographic. Who's a millennial? The oldest millennial is 42 years old. He's got kids, he's got an income, he's looking for a great place to live and raise his kids. That's who we're targeting, okay? Visitors will spend money, and some will move here, like Terry Wise on the Appalachian Trail, had a vision, and is now a business owner, is helping Erwin and Unicoi County grow. Here's the economic impact of tourism in Unicoi County. This is Unicoi County alone. It's a $28.8 million impact in 2021. Okay. It grew 35% between the pandemic year of 21 and 22. We expect it to continue to grow this year. Bottom line, what does it mean? 220 direct and indirect jobs for Unicoi County. It would be tough to land another industry here that's going to bring 220 jobs here. But that's what you got. And bottom line for your voters and the people who put you in office, it's a great thing to know that the sales tax dollars that are brought into the county through tourism equates to $178 in taxes that would have had to have been imposed on local residents. But it doesn't have to be because of the income that you're getting from sales tax in the region. These are published by the state of Tennessee. We didn't make them up. And they do it every year in August. They'll be putting the 22 numbers up against 21. So we're anxious to see those numbers. Our website also tells great stories. If you look at the stories section, every single month we have a fantastic story about Unicoi County. And we do it across the county. I mean, on social media upcoming, we're talking about the Old Fiddlers Convention in Flag Pond. For the last 2 months, our stories have been about the town of Unicoi. This month, we're going to be talking about the Great Outdoor Festival in Erwin. So every month, there's a big piece of good news that's coming out of our website. And if you look at that bar chart and you look at that map, there's only 4 states in America who have not visited our website. Only 4. In that pie chart, 91% of the visitors to our website are new visitors. Brand spanking new visitors. Let's take a look at social media. Look at that number. Our social media in 3 years has earned 1.3 million impressions. So think about 12 home games at Neyland Stadium, and the stadium is packed. That's how many impressions that you've gotten through social media. And we're telling fantastic stories. Great photography, great stories, and it supports events, it supports merchants. It's phenomenal. And we pay ads to focus on certain parts of the country. Like right now, we're focusing with paid social ads from around Roanoke to Charlotte to Greenville, South Carolina. You can make a day trip up here, drop a couple of $100 through tourism, and go back home or spend it. We're helping grow your tax base and your population. You know, because of my background in media, I have a lot of friends. That's part of the reason why they were over here for a day celebrating WJHL, right? We send out an e-newsletter, and if you're not on that e-newsletter, it's called Zoomtown News. If you're not on it, please give me your email address and we'll add it. But we send that Zoomtown News to state representatives. We send it to area politicians. We send it to other tourism organizations, as well as people who want to subscribe. So this is a direct route to your state representatives in Nashville, okay, that always has a good story. We're working with Austin on future growth projects that are very exciting. We're supporting local new businesses that arrive here to make sure they have the traffic to support their growth. And we're also helping with residential development. You know, congratulations on that development out in Fishery. It's the first residential development in 2 decades in Unicoi County. It's going to turn a farm field into a tax base that's going to be sweet. We're here to grow the tax base as an economic development engine. Lastly, I had the opportunity to meet Karen Dunlap. Have you guys met her? Wow. Former Army colonel, got 14 members of her family that have fallen in love with Real Wild Unicoi County. And she's heading up Keep the Valley Beautiful cleanup. What an asset that is. These are the kind of people, that we're working on to move here, to live here, to retire. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
I appreciate
Mr.
it.
Treadway. Sure appreciate your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm glad you clarified that for me. Because when I first heard Real Wild, I thought, I am not real wild. Not at all. And that byline speaks volumes for what you're targeting. That makes sense.
It's an economic engine for Unicoi County, and we're trying to make you attract the right people, do it in a professional way, where people will be brought here, the right kind of people.
You are.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Brown, thank you for your efforts in that endeavor also. Moving on to appointments. 9.1, consider approval and appointment to the town recorder position. I come before the BMA to make my nomination for our next city recorder to be Mr. Mark Muller from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Mr. Muller has a Bachelor of Science degree in economics, a master's degree in public administration, and has just recently completed the Certified Municipal Financial Officer course required for this position. I would like to share with our BMA members and the citizens on some comments given to me by Mr. Muller's peers, instructors, and supervisors. Each had a general theme, which stated that Mark is a team player. He begins and finishes tasks on time, and would go beyond his duties to help others working with him to accomplish their goals and tasks. His instructor for the CMFO course went on to say that in all of his years of teaching this course, Mr. Muller was his very best student and was impressed at his academic achievements while still working a full-time job. I asked each of them, in their opinion, would Mr. Muller have the ability to handle a $6.5 million budget, lead personnel, and oversee the operation of the city with 6,000 residents? Their answer to me was an astounding yes. Also, Mr. Muller's instructor stated, and I quote, Mark has the ability to find the answers to a certain situation if needs be. And through his CMFO course has developed a network of professionals at MTAS for that purpose. Dr. Hatcher, during the interview, asked Mr. Muller why he applied at Erwin. Mark's response was that his goal was to be part of the local government and to raise his family in a small town such as Erwin. In my opinion, Mr. Muller possesses the education and skills necessary to be an effective, successful, long-term city recorder for our town. Therefore, I'll open it up for being made for discussion. Is there any discussion on my nomination? If not, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Wilcox, will you call the roll?
Michael Baker,
Yes.
Mickey Hatcher, Kathy Huskins,
Yes.
Angie Vaughn,
Yes.
Paula Edwards, Glenn White.
Yes. Congratulations, Mr. Muller.
Congratulations.
You're more than welcome to come forward and speak if you'd like.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be joining your community. I'm excited to see how it grows and develops, to see the good work that we can do. I'm excited to bring the spirit of the comptroller here and make your government work better as best I can. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Mr. Muller's first day will be May the 9th. And I would ask the BMA to call and set up an appointment with him, get to know him. Maybe want to give him a week or so to get comfortable in his office, but then I would recommend each of you to do that, call and make an appointment, because it's going to be pretty busy. Again, best of luck and congratulations. Moving on to 9.2, consider approval of appointing Alderman Michael Baker to the Northeast County Regional Recovery Center Board of Directors, term 1 year. Just to give a quick review, Mr. Baker has been the forefront on this from its inception concerning what we did with the baby doe money in creating this facility for people who need that type of help. I asked Mr. Baker would he lead it, and he graciously has. But also I need to get this approved by the BMA. So is there any discussion among the BMA members concerning my asking you to appoint Mr. Baker to this position? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Mr. Wilcox, would you call the roll?
Paula Edwards, Michael Baker,
Yes.
Kathy Huskins,
Yes.
Mickey Hatcher, Angie Vaughn,
Yes.
Glenn White.
Yes. Moving on, we have a consider appointment of Mr. Scott Charles to the Erwin Utility Authority Board for a 5-year term beginning July 1st, 2023. And I think most of us know Mr. Charles is an outstanding citizen. I think that's a good selection by President Brown on that. Is there any discussion on Mr. Charles? Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Scott Charles to the Erwin Utilities Authority Board.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Wilcox, would you call the roll?
Mickey Hatcher, Angie Vaughn,
Yes.
Michael Baker,
Yes.
Kathy Huskins,
Yes.
Paula Edwards, Glenn White.
Yes. Moving on to ordinances. At this time, I open this meeting up for a public hearing on ordinance 744-23, an ordinance to adopt the Town of Erwin Municipal Code of Ordinances. Is there anyone here that would like to speak on this issue? At this time, I'll close this session of this meeting. Moving on to 10.2, consider approval of ordinance number 744-23, an ordinance to adopt the Town of Erwin Municipal Code of Ordinances. This is the second and final reading. Is any discussion among BMA members? Therefore, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 744-23.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Wilcox, would you call the roll?
Kathy Huskins,
Yes.
Mickey Hatcher, Paula Edwards, Angie Vaughn,
Yes.
Michael Baker,
Yes.
Glenn White.
Yes. Moving on to resolution 11.1, consider approval of resolution number 1308-23, a resolution authorizing the Town of Erwin to enter into an interlocal contract with HGAC, Houston Galveston Area Council, as a cooperative purchasing program. Mr. Wilcox, would you comment, please?
Basically, this is, the town is committed to buying a fire engine that was given to them in the quote. This basically meets the competitive bid requirements set forth under the Person Law of 1983, TCA 12-3-12-5, subsection B. So basically, this is basically like a state contract, set the cost under number 3, you have to pass a resolution when you do a national competitive bid requirement.
Thank you, Mr. Wilcox. Any discussion? Do I have a motion for approval?
Make a motion to approve resolution number 1308-20.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Wilcox, would you call the roll, please?
Angie Vaughn,
Yes.
Paula Edwards, Michael Baker.
Yes.
Kathy Huskins.
Yes.
Mickey Hatcher. Glenn White.
Yes. Moving on to number 12, information. 12.1, our planning commission will be this Wednesday, April the 26th at 4 p.m. here at Town Hall. And 12.2, the Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting will be Monday, May 8th, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. Our next, regular scheduled meeting. Any other business? Yes.
What about the budget session? Is it still for Wednesday as well?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Wilcox, Vaughn. That will be, we'll have a budget session here this Wednesday.
Can we start it at like 4:30 so we can get through the planning?
We can start. Can we start? Or did we already announce it before?
We announced it at 4, but I can change it to 4:30, then.
You think we have a problem? Okay, so it'll be here Wednesday at 4:30, our budget session, okay? With that being said, any other business that come from the board? Do I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. We are adjourned. Thanks for coming, ladies and gentlemen.